Let's head down to Brazil. Let's get after it. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Craig Ben, aka Cash Cake, back with an Underdog fantasy pick'em video. We swept yesterday, going 3-0 in our Underdog video, 6-0 across both videos yesterday. Hopefully helped you make a little bit of coin. If you want to join along today, we got football on Friday down in Brazil. Use that promo code CashCake and get yourself a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's that easy. Also, you can get a free month of our elite subscription, which get access to all our plays, all our picks, as well as all the tools that we have so you can make your decision in what you want to play. But I'll stop yapping. Let's get after it. Let's talk some football. All right, Underdog Fantasy Pick'em is up on the board here. They got a sweet mobile app you can download both in the Google and Apple Store. Again, we got 3 plays for you here. Nice total in this game at 49 with a 2-point spread going towards Philly. I kind of like Green Bay if you're looking at the books. I think they're going to come out strong. It should be a fun game. I think a lot of points are going to be scored here. New offensive coordinator for Philly should be fun. And with that, let's just actually dive into that play, honestly. Let's dive in and let's talk about Devonta Smith. 4.5 receptions is one of my favorite plays on the board today. And a lot of big things here. Like we got the big news here with Philly. We know that Jason Kelce's out at the center. He retired. But the big thing here is Kellen Moore coming over as their offensive coordinator. Now he was an offensive coordinator both for Dallas and he was over for the Chargers. And, you know, all the talk on the town is they're going to move Devonta Smith into the slot. And that's going to produce big things, we hope. You know, we saw CeeDee Lamb in that same role do really well. Over and when he was with the Chargers, we saw Keenan Allen do really well in this role, and really hoping that is the case, and the volume should be pretty heavy if that is the case. They did bring Dotson over from the Washington Commanders, and I think they're going to throw him on the outside, and if they put Smith in the slot, then Brown and Dotson are going to have to worry about Alexander, and we don't have to have Smith on him too much, which definitely help because Alexander is a stud corner. It is a little bit lower multiplier, 0.89x here, but again, at that 4.5 receptions, I think it's going to move to 5 at some point. I didn't talk this over on the PrizePicks because their lines definitely move. They don't give you these nice multipliers where they'll just kind of adjust the payout a little bit. And I do like this at the 4.5. Even last year in this, with the role that he had without Kellen Moore coming over, he still cleared this in 7 of his last 10 games that he did play. The volume was definitely there. Last year, he had a 22% target share with 112 targets last year. I think that's going to go up. A.J. Brown led him with 158 targets with a 30% target share. Those two should be neck and neck, but I think we should see closer to the 25-26% target share this year. And if he can get away and not have to go up against Alexander, I think it's only going to boost the offense for him. Getting Barkley in this offense as well is going to help him, but the 4.5 just feels a little bit too low. One of my favorite plays on the board. Let's go with his running mate here. Again, I talked about Barkley, and I think there's a lot of ways you can go with him. I think if you wanted to go as rushing, receiving touchdown, perfectly fine going that way. If that's the case that you want to go with him, no problem going with Barkley with that touchdown. I do think he gets in the box. So I think that is an option that we can, go after. Receptions I like. Reception yards at 15.5 feels awful low as well. I think he's going to be super involved here with what they, paid him and did. I still think my favorite, though, out of all of these, where the line is at 15.5 reception yards, if you're not going to take the touchdown, I think this is just too low. I think it sets up too low. I like the fantasy score better on PrizePicks with a full point per reception. But over here, I think they're going to utilize him more. He's got a better quarterback throwing the ball instead of Daniel Jones overshooting him. And, and that offensive line's way better. for the Eagles, where we should just see more production. So I think we're going to see 5-6 targets a game here, and I want to get ahead of this. He could get this in, one reception or 15.5 yards with how talented he is, especially if they get them big hogs out and dump off a screen pass. So 15.5 reception yards is where I'm going to land. On the other side of the ball, there was a few plays I was looking at, but I think with where the line is, I know it's a lower payout. I think Jordan Love higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns is where I'm going to be. I think we're going to see even a bigger jump this year than we did last year. We saw last year coming out the gate, he struggled, right? Now, he did have some 3 touchdown performances coming out the gate. He hung on the 10th of September. He hung 38 on my Bears with 3 touchdowns. And then he played Atlanta where they lost 25-24, where he had 3 touchdowns. Then he struggled a little bit against the Saints in Detroit in Vegas. But I would say right towards mid-October is where he started hitting his stride. And that's where, 9 of his last 10 games he had higher than, or he had 2 touchdowns or more in 9 of his last 10 games. And now you get Philly, who was bottom 2 in passing touchdowns against, giving up over 2 a game. I think this is a spot where I like the over 1.5 passing touchdowns for him to get it done here in a high scoring game. Like I said, it's a 49 total. We have a close spread, and I think we can take advantage of that with Love. There's one I was kind of on the fence with. I'll mention him as like an honorable mention here, but I'm not going to put him as an official play. It just makes me a little bit nervous with him, but we'll bring him up and we'll talk about him anyways with the Packers. And that's Jaden Reed. He should be coming out of the slot as well. 3.5 receptions is a 0.92x here. It's one play that I think you can dive in a little bit if we kind of see, who he's going to be going against. If he comes out of the slot, he should be going up against Mitchell, who was coming out of Toledo. He was the Eagles' first-round pick, 22nd overall selection, which good cornerback, but again, he is a rookie. He should have to go up against Slay. Slay should have Dobbs and Watson on the outside. Slay's not the cornerback he used to be. He's not super elite, but still, I think Reed coming out of the slot is going to benefit him. And if he's got that rookie and he's got to get the ball out a little quicker, maybe we see Jaden Reed, catch a few more balls this year in that offense. So that's one of the plays that I kind of like as an honorable mention if you want this 3.5 receptions, and that would be 2 on each. So again, if you want access to this, you can head on over to dailyedgesports.com. Again, we have these all these tools up you can use with your elite membership. Projection EV tool, I have the game pulled up. As you can tell, Jordan Love is number 1 in terms of minus 132 and the odds for him to get over 1.5 touchdowns. We got him projected at 1.78 touchdowns. Devonta Smith, 4.5 receptions. We got him projected for just almost 1 click more at 5.23 receptions. Jaden Reed's right there at 4.16, so he's number 3 on the board, and that's just separated by the odds. So if you're looking at plus EV stuff, those are the top plus 3 EV on the board. Musgrave is down there as well, but you can check this out. Head on over, get access to this with Elite, and make your own plays with what's going on. Here's Barkley, again, one of the ones I was talking about with receptions, yards, 15.5 reception yards. We got him projected for 23.24. So again, you get access to all these custom projections that we have on top of the odds that are out there. So head on over, check us out at dailyedgesports.com. Let's trust today like we did yesterday. Let's start the NFL season off with a bang, and let's get after it. With that, see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.